I watched my father die at 68. Heart attack. Gone in minutes. My mother made it to 94. Sharp mind, steady hands, walked every morning until the week she passed. Same family, same genes. So what made the difference? For the last 22 years, I've been a geriatric physician at Johns Hopkins. I've examined over 8,000 patients past the age of 72, and I've discovered something the medical textbooks don't tell you. 5 body signs predict exactly how long you'll live after 72. Not your cholesterol, not your blood pressure. 5 signs you can check yourself right now in under 10 minutes. Mrs. Patterson came to see me last year. She was 73. Her daughter brought her in, worried. "Mom's slowing down, Dr. Chen. I think she's declining." I examined Mrs. Patterson, ran the usual tests. Everything came back normal. But I checked her 5 signs. 4 out of 5 were failing. I told her daughter, "If nothing changes, your mother has maybe 3 years." The daughter started crying. But Mrs. Patterson looked at me and said, "What do I need to do?" I taught her 5 exercises, 5 minutes each day. That was 11 months ago. Last week, Mrs. Patterson walked into my office alone. No cane, no daughter. She'd driven herself 40 minutes. "Dr. Chen, I feel 50 again." What changed? She fixed her 5 signs. Before I reveal these 5 signs, you need to understand something. After 72, your body doesn't fail randomly. It follows a pattern, a specific sequence. Most doctors miss this because they're looking at individual organs. Heart, lungs, kidneys. But your body is a chain. When one link weakens, the whole chain collapses. These 5 signs tell you which links are weakening right now. Fix them before they break, and you can add 10, even 20 years to your life. Ignore them, and you'll be in a nursing home within 5 years. I've seen it happen hundreds of times. Sign number 1, your grip strength. I know what you're thinking. Grip strength? That's it? But listen to this. A study from the University of Michigan followed 6,000 seniors for 15 years. The ones with weak grip strength at 72 had 4 times the mortality rate by 85. 4 times. Why? Because grip strength doesn't just measure your hand, it measures your entire muscular system. When your grip weakens, it means muscle mass throughout your body is declining. Your legs, your core, your heart. Yes, your heart is a muscle too. Let me tell you about James. He was 74 when I met him. Retired accountant. He came in complaining about fatigue. "Can't seem to do much anymore, Doc." I asked him to squeeze my fingers as hard as he could. Barely felt it. "James, when's the last time you opened a jar without help?" He thought about it. "Maybe 6 months ago. My wife does that now." That's when I knew. James had maybe 4 years left if nothing changed. His grip strength was 15 kilograms. Normal for a 74-year-old man is 35 to 40 kilograms. Half of what it should be. Here's how you test your grip strength at home. You don't need fancy equipment. Take a bathroom scale. Stand it upright against a wall. Press your palm into it as hard as you can. The number that shows up, that's your grip strength in kilograms. Men over 72 should hit at least 28 kilograms. Women should hit at least 18 kilograms. Below that, you're in the danger zone. James started doing what I taught him. Hand exercises with a tennis ball. 3 minutes twice a day. 6 months later, his grip strength was 32 kilograms. A year later, 38 kilograms. He's 76 now. Still drives. Still golfs. Still opens his own jars. Sign number 2. How fast you walk, not how far. How fast? There's a specific speed that separates the people who live to 90 from the people who don't make it to 80. That speed is 0.8 meters per second, roughly 1.8 miles per hour. Sounds slow, right? But after 72, most people walk much slower than they realize. A study from the University of Pittsburgh measured walking speed in 2,000 seniors. The ones who walked faster than 0.8 meters per second at age 75 had an 85% chance of being alive at 90. The ones who walked slower had only a 35% chance. Why does walking speed matter so much? Because it measures 3 critical systems at once. Your cardiovascular system. Can your heart pump enough blood to sustain movement? Your nervous system. Is your brain sending signals fast enough to coordinate your steps? Your muscular system. Do your legs have enough strength to propel you forward? When walking speed drops, it means all 3 systems are failing together. That's why it's such a powerful predictor. Margaret was 72 when her son brought her to see me. "She's shuffling, doctor. Takes forever to get anywhere." I timed Margaret walking 20 feet. It took her 24 seconds. That's 0.25 meters per second. Less than a third of the survival threshold. Margaret, do you feel unsteady when you walk? She nodded. Sometimes I think I might fall. Her slow walking wasn't just about weak legs. Her brain wasn't processing balance signals fast enough. Her heart wasn't delivering enough oxygen to her muscles. 3 systems failing. Here's how you test your walking speed. Mark out 13 feet in your hallway. Use tape or just count floor tiles. Start walking at your normal pace. Not slow, not fast. Just how you naturally walk. Time yourself from the moment you start moving until you cross the 13-foot mark. If it takes more than 5 seconds, you're below the survival threshold. Margaret started walking exercises. Not long walks. Short bursts of faster walking. 30 seconds fast. 1 minute slow. 5 rounds twice a day. Within 8 weeks, her walking speed doubled. Within 6 months, she was walking faster than she had in 10 years. But here's what most people don't realize. You can have perfect grip strength and perfect walking speed and still be headed for an early decline. Because the next 3 signs measure something completely different. They measure whether your body can actually repair itself. And that's where most people over 72 are failing without even knowing it. Sign number 3. How long you can stand on one leg. This test reveals whether your nervous system is aging faster than your body. Here's what I mean. Balance isn't about strength. It's about your brain communicating with your feet in real time. Every millisecond, sensors in your feet send signals to your brain. Your brain processes those signals and sends commands back to tiny muscles throughout your body. Stand still. Lean left. Compensate right. This happens thousands of times per minute without you thinking about it. But after 72, this communication system starts breaking down. The signals get slower. The processing gets delayed. The commands arrive too late. A study from the Mayo Clinic tested 5,000 seniors. They asked each person to stand on one leg with their eyes closed. The ones who could hold it for 10 seconds or longer had half the mortality risk over the next decade compared to those who couldn't. Half. Thomas was 73. He came to see me after his 3rd fall in 6 months. Doctor, I just lose my balance. No warning. I'm standing there and suddenly I'm on the ground. I asked Thomas to stand on his right leg. He lifted his left foot. 2 seconds later, he grabbed my arm to steady himself. Thomas, close your eyes and try again. He couldn't even lift his foot. His brain couldn't maintain balance without visual input. That's a failing nervous system. Here's your test. Stand next to a wall or counter. Don't hold on, but keep it close in case you need to catch yourself. Lift one foot about 6 inches off the ground. Start a timer. If you can hold it for 10 seconds with eyes open, that's baseline. Now try it with eyes closed. If you can't hold it for at least 5 seconds, your nervous system is aging faster than it should. Thomas started balance exercises. Stand on one leg while brushing his teeth. Stand on one leg while waiting for coffee to brew. 30 seconds, multiple times per day. After 3 months, Thomas could stand on one leg with his eyes closed for 12 seconds. His falls stopped completely. Sign number 4. Whether you can get up from the floor without using your hands. This is called the sitting rising test. It predicts mortality better than almost any blood test. A Brazilian study followed 2,000 adults for 13 years. At the start, researchers asked each person to sit down on the floor and stand back up. They scored the movement. Every time someone used a hand, knee, or forearm for support, they lost 1 point. Perfect score was 10. 5 points for sitting down smoothly. 5 points for standing up smoothly. The results were shocking. People who scored 8 or higher had a 15% mortality risk over the next 6 years. People who scored 3 or lower had a 65% mortality risk. That's more than 4 times higher. Why does this matter so much? Because getting up from the floor requires strength, flexibility, balance, and coordination all at once. It's a full system test. Helen was 74. She told me she hadn't sat on the floor in 20 years. Doctor, if I get down there, I'm not getting back up. I asked her to try. She lowered herself using both hands and both knees. Getting down took 15 seconds and left her breathing hard. Standing up was worse. She rolled to her knees, grabbed a chair, pulled herself to one knee, then pushed up with both hands. Helen, when's the last time you played with your grandchildren on the floor? Her eyes filled with tears. I can't anymore. They ask me to play Legos and I have to say no. We started floor exercises. Every morning Helen practiced sitting and standing, first with lots of support, then less, then none. It took 4 months, but eventually Helen could sit down and stand up using only one hand for balance. 6 months later, she sent me a photo. She was sitting on the floor surrounded by Legos, her grandson beside her, both of them smiling. Sign number 5. How well you sleep. Not how long. How well. Your body repairs itself during deep sleep. Cells regenerate. Toxins clear from your brain. Damaged tissue heals. But after 72, most people stop reaching deep sleep stages. They lie in bed for 8 hours, but only get 2 hours of restorative sleep. A study from UC Berkeley scanned the brains of seniors while they slept. The ones getting less than 90 minutes of deep sleep per night showed accelerated cognitive decline. Their brains were aging 30% faster than seniors who got adequate deep sleep. Robert was 73. He told me he slept 9 hours every night, but woke up exhausted. Doctor, I'm in bed by 9. I don't wake up until 6. But I feel like I didn't sleep at all. I asked Robert about his sleep environment. TV in the bedroom. Yes. Phone on the nightstand. Yes. Room temperature. About 74 degrees. There's your problem. Robert wasn't getting deep sleep because his environment was sabotaging him. Light from the TV suppressed melatonin. Phone notifications disrupted sleep cycles. Warm temperature prevented his body from cooling down, which is necessary for deep sleep. We made 3 changes. Completely dark room. Phone in another room. Temperature at 67 degrees. Within 2 weeks, Robert said he felt different. I'm waking up actually refreshed. Within 2 months, his energy returned. He started exercising again. His memory improved. Sign number 6. Whether you still have a purpose. This is the one nobody talks about, but it might be the most important of all. A study from Rush University followed 200 seniors for 7 years. At the start, they asked each person one question. Do you feel your life has purpose? The ones who said yes had half the mortality risk of those who said no. Half. Just from having a reason to wake up. Purpose isn't about grand achievements. It's about mattering, contributing, being needed. When you retire and suddenly have nothing to do, your body starts shutting down. Not because you're physically declining. Because your brain decides you're done. Margaret told me something I'll never forget. Doctor, nobody needs me anymore. My husband's gone. My kids are busy. What's the point? 3 months later, Margaret started volunteering at the library, reading to children twice a week. Suddenly she had somewhere to be, people who counted on her, a reason to get dressed. 6 months later, Margaret looked younger, moved faster, smiled more. That's the power of purpose. These 6 signs tell you everything. Grip strength, walking speed, balance, floor mobility, sleep quality, purpose. If you're failing even one, your body is telling you something. Listen to it. Start today, because waiting another month, another year might be too late. Mrs. Patterson walked into my office last month for her annual checkup. Remember her? The woman I told had maybe 3 years left. That was 11 months ago. She's now hiking twice a week. Her grip strength is 24 kilograms. She can stand on one leg for 15 seconds. She gets off the floor without using her hands. She sleeps 7 hours and wakes up energized. And she volunteers at a food bank every Thursday. 5 signs, 11 months. A completely different trajectory. You have the same opportunity she had. Test yourself today. Grip strength with a bathroom scale. Walking speed across 13 feet. One leg balance with eyes closed. Sitting and rising from the floor. Your sleep quality. Your sense of purpose. Write down where you are right now. Then start improving one sign at a time. You don't need to fix everything overnight. You just need to start. My father died at 68 because nobody told him what I'm telling you. My mother made it to 94 because she accidentally did most of these things right. She gardened, which kept her grip strong. She walked fast everywhere. She practiced yoga, which maintained her balance. She slept in a cold, dark room. And she had purpose until her final week. She didn't know why these things mattered. She just did them. Now you know why. Your body is sending you signals right now. The question is whether you'll listen before it's too late.